All right. I had to, do I guess a two-part to this because I was running out of time on that video. I got like two more scriptures to go after this. What was I at? I think I was at verse 32. But nevertheless, what I was getting into was America's, basically a massive support to all these other nations, And how do they support all these other nations? Well, majority, I ain't going to say the majority, but a lot of the things that China produces, okay, they sell to America, okay? So if America wasn't buying all the Chinese merchandise, then their economy's slowing down, And then also, likewise with any other thing, trade, military, all these types of things, If you can't bring your money over here and trade and all these types of things like that, a lot of people like to come over here and make money in America, or trade in the stock market. But once all that goes down, then, what other nation are people eating off of, What other nation are people like, yo, let's go to, we need to go to Puerto Rico or Venezuela to go try to make some money because that's where it's popping it. No, ain't nobody thinking like that. They all want to come over to America to make money. It's just like you got a job, you can go work at, the McDonald's, ain't nobody really trying to go jump on McDonald's, but you got a certain job like, hey man, such and such over there hiring and they pay real good and everybody trying to jump onto that job. Why? Because that job can support a lot of people, Verse 32, and in their willing they shall take up a lament for thee and lament over thee, saying, what city is like Tyrus? What city is like Tyrus, like the destroyed in the midst of the sea? Okay, what city is like America? It's going to get destroyed basically in the sight of all these people. Like, damn, just think about that. If whatever size nation you are, whether you're a big nation or a small nation, when you see what the Most High finna do to America, how do you think they're gonna feel? They're gonna be like, oh shit, let me check myself, because if he can go, then shit, I can go. That's just like let's say I don't want to wish this upon nobody, but let's say the greatest man in Israel, let's say let's say he's the so-called fall out of the truth, that would put everybody up under him, and oh shit, if he can fall out, I need to correct myself, so all these other nations are going to be feeling like that when America fall, when thy wares go forth out of the sea, thou fillest many people. Thou did enrich the kings of the earth with the multitude of thy riches and thy merchandise. So yeah, you made all these other nations rich with your merchandise, your trade and all these agreements and all this stuff. And you was fucking them over, but also you was making them a lot of money, You constantly got Chinese people, you constantly giving them some work by constantly buying from them, If you got a factory and you printing out, let's say you got a factory and you make car batteries, right? And you don't have a so-called customer, all right? And you just got batteries and you're just sitting on the shelf, but now you picked up a customer at Ford, right? And you constantly making batteries because they constantly making cars, so you staying in business. Now, if Ford go out of business, then you're going to be upset because now you ain't got nothing to keep moving with, And so this is what you're starting to see happen, all right? Verse 34, in the time when thou shalt be broken by the sea in the depths of thy water, thy merchandise and all thy company in the midst of thee shall fall. All the inhabitants of the isle shall be astonished at thee, and their king shall be sore afraid, and they shall be troubled in their countenance. Yeah, when they see these nukes drop down over here, they're going to be like, oh shit, they was the greatest, but what the fuck? How much more me? Woe unto me, The merchants among the people shall hiss at thee, and shall be a terror, and never shall be any more. And never shall be any more. That's how you know it's Babylon, the Edomites. They not going to how do you say, neither shall Arabia pitch tent there no more. They're not going to come back after all of this, But nevertheless, the merchants among the people shall hiss at thee, and thou shalt be a terror. Yeah, so, first of all, these people starting to get upset. This is why you're going into a petro yuan. You realizing, like, y'all been fucking us and all this stuff, and, like, the SWIFT system. They coming up with all these new ways of transferring and moving currencies around to where they don't need this IMF no more, all right? They basically don't need America and their people no more. They're trying to cut them out of the picture, And you just got to look into all of this stuff, I mean, I could be here kind of explaining this forever, but, we want to bring out these scriptures. I got two more. This is the book of Revelations, both in the book of Revelation. Both in Revelation chapter 18. Again, you can read this all the way through, you know, but I'm going to just bring out a couple points in here. It says, this is Revelation 18 and 2. I'll start at verse 2. It says, and he cried mightily, Revelation 8 and 1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. One second. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Okay, so what we're talking about here is Babylon fallen, all right? For all the nations have drunk of the wine of her wrath of fornication. All right, now, so we can go ahead and cancel out Nimrod and Babel over in Ethiopia, because Nimrod in Ethiopia, in the land of Cush, never traded with the so-called Western globe like America, okay? Neither did Nebuchadnezzar and where you would think of in like Babylon, and not Babylon, Iraq, you know, that Babylon. They never traded over here, you know? So that cancels them out, you know? So we talking about a third Babylon, all right? But then like we read earlier today talking about Tyrus, it says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Okay, so they all getting drunk. Okay, and the kings of the earth have committed fornications with her. Okay, so all these other kings, they fucking around with her. They sipping on this Babylon juice. All right, it's like somebody telling you lies and you believe in all their lies. All right, or you go to a car dealership and you believe the shit that the salesman telling you just to get a damn car, and you realize you done bought a lemon, so now you mad. All right, it says, and the kings of the earth have committed fornications with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Yeah, when you got motherfuckers always buying Jordans and all, like, everything here in America is made in China, more or less, to say. You know, and not just China, because, I mean, we can go on to, like, the oil, the amount of oil we import here. You know, the amount of silver and lithium that we have to go to, like, Africa to get for all the cell phones here in America, you know. That's another big commodity they go through, lithium. This is why they over in the Middle East doing a lot of that shit, you know. Afghanistan, the poppy fields, shit. Here in Florida, I believe, is where the biggest heroin epidemic, or it used to be at least. We had all them doctors writing those prescriptions and shit, you know. So the whole earth is being made rich with this, you know. Afghanistan is making plenty of money off of the poppy fields out there. The shipping containers, the shipping companies that ship all that stuff, the drugs in, make money. The drug dealers, the cartels, and all those people make money off of that. The judicial system, the police, the DEA, the CIA, all these people making money off of all this stuff. And we just talking about the poppy fields in Afghanistan, you know. And we can go into the oil refineries and the shipment of oil and all of that stuff, the refineries, the gas stations, all those people, the shipping containers, the ports and all that stuff. Same deal, you know. Same with anything, you know, because a lot of the majority of everything is brought into America, is imported, okay. So this is why all these other countries are being waxing rich, because they sell majority of their commodities over here in America for a way cheaper price. All right. Same with food. America's backwards. We have our own oil and our own food, but we'll export that out and import cheaper shit in. You know. I want to go down to verse 11. It says. Verse 7, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. Okay, so America, you know, talking about we the greatest country on the earth and doing all this shit, and hypocrisy of them, like, oh, we can have nuclear bombs, nobody else can. Like, damn, bro, you sitting really on top. You can do everything and can't nobody else do it too, you know. It says, for much as she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit as a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrows. Okay? Like, yo, bruh, we the greatest nation on earth. Who gonna touch us? Who gonna bring us down? Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord Yahweh who judges her. Yeah, so when them nukes come down here, you know, everything gonna come to naught. All right? And the kings of the earth who have committed fornications and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of the torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour thy judgment is come. Yeah, they're going to, like when 9/11 happened, you had all these other nations looking at us and, damn, look at that. That's crazy. They were standing all off and shocked that nobody, everybody was on high alert. That's just like, basically 2 buildings that happened in one day. How much more when an entire city or an entire state, the whole entire downtown Manhattan is on fire and burning up, When you're going to see that smoke rising up, around the whole earth, they're going to be like, damn. They're going to be trembling and fearing for the damn missiles that's raining down on them. But then also they're going to be like, we can't really, they was basically like the biggest basically fiend. It's like a drug fiend, If you a goddamn drug dealer and you got one goddamn crackhead that's constantly, like a rich crackhead that's constantly coming all goddamn day long, you don't need nobody else. Like, well, he pay all the damn bills alone, But then when the homeboy decides he want to sober up or he get locked up, now you ain't got no more money coming in, So it's basically the same thing going on because, like it says, the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her. Okay? They're going to be like, damn, we ain't getting it no more, Verse 11, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buys her merchandise anymore. Okay? And again, you go back down into all the merchandise that they have in here. I wanted to grab one more in here. Actually, let me just grab my next precept and close on out. Well, we can go ahead and close out there. But like I said, if you read all the way down through here, you'll see just basically the ending of this economy coming to an end. This not just economy, but this whole system and everything over here coming to a complete end. The Most High is destroying all of this, piece by piece. And it's something, like the scriptures say, watch ye therefore. You got to be watching these things in the news and putting it and tying the strings together, because they're not going to tell you, okay, this is having an effect on that, the TPP trade or whatever. The tariffs and all that. They're not going to tell you these things, how they connect to one another, You have to, be able to discern those things and then go back and look it up through the scriptures, and see how all these things are coming to place, and then also use that to measure the time diligently, okay? With that, we're going to go ahead and close out and say, Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that taught me the truth and that ruled well. And salutation and much love for you, I can push in truth and sincerity in the 4 corners of the earth and enduring afflictions. Stay strong. Shalom.